All right, Roscoe. So let's just talk about today. Being with the Hawks, performing for the hometown crowd. Man, what does it feel like?
It's like a homecoming in a sense. I've been here my whole life. Obviously followed Atlanta sports my whole life. So being able to be a part of it and to just, continue to give back to the community and just, bring people together and be a part of that experience is always a good thing for me. So I'm happy to be here.
Your thoughts on not only being home, but being home for a while, being a rapper in your 30s,
Yeah.
shows that you have longevity and fans that support you through different eras of time.
Mm-hmm. I had good teachers, man. I grew up studying a lot of good people that came before me, the Outkast, the Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri's, all the people, the legends, you know what I'm saying? But I had good teachers, and I was a student of the game. I'm still a student of the game to this day. And it's always something new to learn. And I think when you stop learning or you're no longer willing to learn, that's when you're on a decline at that point. So I'm around good people. I try to breathe positivity into whoever I engage with or whatever the case may be. And that's just carried me where I am today. So
of course you were a part of Futuristic Summer this summer, everything. I guess, how did that come about with you and Metro? And I guess how big was that to kind of get back to that old groove of music?
Man, it was great, bro. It was great, man. Shout out to Metro. Shout out to everybody that was involved, really. I think the biggest thing about that project, and to me for being a part of it, is the camaraderie that went into it. Like, we really didn't even send any records. Everybody showed up. Everybody was, out their own way. We was working on records that we weren't even featured on at the end of the day, just to get the best product out to the people. And I think the whole thing, for me anyway, is like make music fun again. You know what I mean? And preach unity. We've always been a culture that has took a lot of losses. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way to reverse that is to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Love thy brother, love thy sister, whatever the case may be, not to be too cliche, but I think it's important. You know what I mean? So if we keep doing that and then redirecting what may be off course at certain times musically and even just outside in general, I think we'll be in a good place. So that's what it's about.
Roscoe, you've had so much success. Can you just talk about what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, keep going. And you know what you're doing. Sometimes you got to bump your head. You know what I mean? You got to fall to learn how to get back up. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely tell the younger version of me, keep doing exactly what you're doing and don't get detoured. It's going to get rough, but we don't get more than we can bear, so.
And what do you think about the Hawks? Looks like a fun team, fun season.
It's like a fun team. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think a couple years ago when we went Eastern Conference Finals, that was probably my rebirth to being like a real, involved fan back into the team or whatever. Because like I said, I've been here for my whole life. So we have our ups and downs. We have our I'm sick of y'all and all that. You know what I mean? Like, we all go through that. You know what I'm saying? Falcons included. Y'all know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that was my rebirth into that. You know what I mean? So now just watching the boys continue to do what they're doing, taking the cuts we got to take to be able to bring in the other pieces and stuff like that. I've been attached to some of those players too that are no longer here. So just watching everybody grow and just continue to play ball and bring the love back to the sport. I love playing basketball growing up. So this is it's a universal or full circle moment for me.
How do you feel about just the dynamics of ATL music? It seems like in the 90s we kind of ruled and dominated, but how do you feel about
I think we're still doing it. I think we're still doing it. Yeah, I think we're one of the melting pots. Sometimes we got to share a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To get no one person has all the knowledge of all the experience of everybody. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a community again. I keep going back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to keep taking community efforts to be able to get us where we should be and where we're going to on top of that. So
what are your thoughts on Outkast being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What does it mean to Atlanta, and how did
you're saying it? I don't
how did they influence you in your?
Man, that's like my number one. My number one is, and number 1A is Big Boy and Andre. So I love this for Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're a melting pot. We always have been. We produce not only just music culture, but art and all this other stuff too. So for them to embody all those things, to give us Bombs Over Baghdad, to give us a deluxe double diamond album to put under our belt, to even bring along people who were catalysts as well to usher in the sound and that was prevalent then and that's still carrying now. You know what I'm saying? I think they're the universal language for us. Like, if you want to know what Atlanta is,
yeah. I've been seeing you on Instagram, making more content, putting the old music on the background. Like, are you like a rebirth type of thing? What you doing?
The battery is definitely in the back right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think in order to understand where you're going, you have to also have a good, firm understanding of where you've been too. You know what I mean? And who you became or who you were then in those moments as well. So I'm just reconnecting the dots. You know what I mean? It's funny because it's as simple as Instagram or social media, but it's also such a big thing because it's an outlet for, you know, a good message versus like the shoot 'em up, bang bang or whatever, where that isn't so good for us all the time. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just happy to be able to have an outlet and to continue to have a voice to do stuff like this and be able to talk to people and be a bridge between the old and the new or what's coming as well. You know what I mean? So
You mentioned the word fun. There's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world, but is that something that is needed now? It just seems like everybody.
I think
is...
if we all came together and just like one of the main. I'm glad that I got to experience this growing up because my dad's side of the family is from Louisiana, but they're like a really good example of what community should look like because it doesn't matter what they have, don't have, what color your skin is, whatever. They're making it work. You know what I'm saying? And they love each other. You can see it. They don't see color. They don't see any of that. So I think the world needs more of these types of things and people who have experienced those to be able to tell people that it exists. You know what I mean? So it ain't just about what we experienced back in the gap. It's about what we're experiencing right now. And we got an opportunity to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So.
How do you feel about just the major leagues, including the Hawks, the Falcons, Atlanta Dream, supporting and just embracing
I love
the culture?
WNBA. Oh my God, I love WNBA so much. Did y'all see that game? That game together was great.
Yeah,
But I just love it. I've been preaching this to all the people that's around me. You know, I'm around a lot of businessmen and stuff too, and we're not always the best in seeing everything that's going on. We kind of focus on what we're good at and just kind of, you know what I mean? So I've been like, y'all need to go to a WNBA game. I don't care what team it is, you need to find one and experience it because everybody has a part to play. You know what I mean? These little girls need to know that they can do other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to just have a lab coat on, which we love that. You know what I mean? But you can go out and have some fun too. You know what I'm saying? So.
Do you keep up with Jeff T's podcast Club?
Yeah, bro, I love that, man.
I don't know if you saw the episode this weekend, but you know they're coming here on Saturday. Mm-hmm. He was trying to see if you was gonna come out.
I'm definitely coming. Hey, I'm coming. I followed him. I actually followed him last night to try to put that in motion. So because I got a couple phone calls about it, but I would love to be a part of that. And I love the fact that he's even coming back here and putting a part of his journey. Again, you got to understand. In order to understand where you're going, you have to understand where you've been. You know what I mean? And we're a melting pot, so he ain't mad at us for sending him off to where he's like, I'm still home. And and he tell the stories, and he's not ashamed. He's good. He's cool with being vulnerable. I think we need more of that too.
Yeah, for sure.